She said, and she was like sobbing, she said, love, she said, hatred turned to love in the presence of what we were talking about. That's the power of these kinds of things. And the lady over here that I was telling you about was saying that she put these programs on when her children were 5 and 6 years old, and they became involved in them and talked about them. And it's like it's a way of changing the energy of your home. You don't always have to be talking about the latest rock star or the Osbournes or Britney Spears, what she's wearing or whether she's had surgery or not or whatever. You can elevate the consciousness of your home by just putting these on, even if nobody seems to be paying attention to it, or putting the tapes on when you're in the car and so on. You'd be surprised what will happen. I can't tell you how many letters I've had from people who said, I am a devotee of this kind of thinking, and I don't get myself depressed and sick because my parents put on tapes of yours 20 years ago, and now I do the same thing for my children as well, even when they laugh at it. So it's very, very powerful stuff. Call the number there on your screen. Ask them, tell them that you want a whole enchilada. They're not going to send you some Mexican food. They're going to send you a wonderful, great big package of a multimedia library, and I'm going to tell you all about it in just a moment.
I'm going to ask you to make one more comment, and that is, you know, it's just wonderful working with this man because he really and truly is a personal fan of public television. I know you and your family have made great use of public television stations really all over the country, and can you just tell us a little bit about what that means to you?
Well, what it means is, you know, I have 8 children, 6 daughters and 2 sons, and I now have a grandson, my very first grandson. It's hard for me to imagine me as someone who looks as young and as I do until I look in that monitor there and I can see it's easy for me to be a grandfather. Anyway, I had my first grandson just a couple of days ago, and I'm very happy and very proud. But we have raised our children on, you know, on this kind of energy. It's like I don't want to hear the kind of language that I hear now. I've been watching a show on commercial television on one of the networks, and I suddenly hear profanity coming out on a situation comedy. I couldn't believe the kind of, I said, what is this? Is this a cable you have on? They said, no, this is coming over, you know, one of the networks. I said, well, you'll never hear that kind of talk and that kind of innuendo, that kind of lowered energy that you'll, when you watch public television. It's a way of elevating the consciousness of and as I said before, people think that I'm out here raising money for public television. I'm honored to do that, but that's a side benefit for me. To me, it's just a way of elevating the consciousness, of getting people to think about. And when we first put these shows together, there was a lot of doubt about whether people would contribute or not contribute because is it too spiritual? Is it higher consciousness? Is it awareness? Is this stuff that... And the response has been absolutely overwhelming across the country. And so we're going to continue doing this. And I think it's just a way to make the whole world a much better, more loving, more kind, more beautiful place.
Well, we're going to go on now to the conclusion of There's a Spiritual Solution to Every Problem. We're going to be back to visit with you in a little while. The phones are ringing. If you've called, thank you. If you haven't, do it now.
Thanks. God bless.